Why being honest with yourself is the only option. A lot of people will avoid being completely honest with themselves by any means necessary. It's a really hard thing to be completely transparent with you about you. All your shortcomings, all your vices, all your issues that maybe you've been running from or turning a blind eye to. Things that you don't want to admit, especially to yourself. Things that you wish weren't a problem. Things that you're not proud of. You're not alone in that. You're not alone in that because this is something that all people, at the very least, want to do. Want to deny that last bit of truth to ourselves because it just hurts. It's painful. It's too exposed. It's too vulnerable. But it's so crucial that this is shared because otherwise we stay wounded. We stay half full. We stay an incomplete version of who we can be and who we were made to be. And by not being honest with yourself, you remain that semi-formed person for everybody in your life and including you. What is self-honesty actually? It's not criticism. It's not being immensely harsh on yourself. It's not being unfair to you. It's not being cruel. It's just acknowledging everything that there is, good and bad. It's saying out loud the things that you really don't want to. I know for even myself, there's things that I'm not proud of saying out loud, but how powerful it is to do so. There's things that you wish you didn't do, wish you hadn't contemplated, wish you hadn't done. And truthfully, this is something that is just required because ultimately this is something that is required from all of us at some point in life and in perhaps regular intervals in life. We may need to be completely honest with ourselves in order to get to where we want to go, to heal what we want to heal, to unlock what we want to unlock. Self-honesty is the willingness to be completely truthful with yourself about what you want, what you don't want, what you're afraid of, what is out of alignment in your life, the things that you're proud of and the things that you're not proud of. We can all admit the things that we like, the things that we dream for, the things that we want to move towards. That's a non-issue. We can sometimes even talk about the things that have happened that, we regret, that are in the past though. But those can be hard too. But it's the things that we're really avoiding, the things that we push to the side, the things that we push to the corner of us that we pretend aren't there. Those are the things that really need to come out, need to be acknowledged, particularly by you. Because after that, then we can pair it with our core values. Then we can pair it with our integrity, with our intention, with who we're trying to be, with who we ultimately can be. And we can build from there, which is the best basis you can build from. The difference between self-awareness and self-honesty. Self-awareness is knowing yourself. It's knowing who you are, what you stand for, and building upon that. Self-honesty is doing something with that knowledge. It's refusing to look away from what we're now aware of. Self-awareness can be great, but self-awareness by itself is just awareness. However, by being self-aware, it does remove one thing that's crucial, and that's an excuse. There's now no excuse not to build upon that, to build upon what you've now learned about yourself. There's now no blaming other situations or other people. It's just taking square responsibility on you. Self-honesty is what actions that. Self-honesty is showing and acknowledging that I'm aware of it now. It's up to me. I'm aware of that issue that I've been hoarding for years, that I've been pretending is not there for years. Now it's up to me to do something about it. The thing to remember is that it's not a one-time event. It's not something that you get to do just once and then you're good. It's actually just a process, something that you'll have to repeat again and again. Because by you being self-honest the first time, by you being truly honest, acknowledging all the good and bad and weighing them, and seeing what needs to be accounted for, maybe even removed from your life, maybe expanded upon. This is a process because things will come up. Habits will come in. Compromises of values and integrity will come in. And that you've got to decide whether that's something you want to practice or you want to remove it. Because life is a process. Life is something that we don't just do and we nail it on the first time around. It's something that we have to work at and get better at. But by being honest means that you will get better at it. By being truly honest and acting on what you learn means that we will grow, means that we will improve, means that we will get rid of the issues rather than letting them have a free ride forever. Dr. Tasha Eurich is a psychologist and also a best-selling author. Her research, detailed in her book Insight, discovered that 95% of people believe that they are self-aware, whereas only 10 to 15% actually are. This means that we may be thinking that we're being as self-aware as we possibly can be, but we actually may only be seeing a portion of what is really going on. Short term, it's easier to pretend that everything's okay, pretend that the issues that we have aren't that big a deal, and that we can just put up with them indefinitely. However, as we've found out a million times before, as I've talked about a million times before, and I'm sure as you've experienced, short term, the easiest option often leads to long term, a harder life. Whereas the harder option initially often leads to a more fulfilling life that's easier within ourselves. I'm not going to say easier overall because crazy stuff happens in life. However, the fact that we get to know that we're doing everything we can, that we've accounted for everything that we can, that helps. But that statistic means that 85% of us are believing that we're actually further down the line than we really are, that we're actually more insightful than we really are. And ultimately, that self-awareness or that lack of might lead us to not really be coming to the party or growing as much in the things that truly matter, such as personal development, our relationships, our parenting, our careers, our passions, our relationship with God. By being truly honest with ourselves, we get to get a clearer picture about where we're really at. Because often we can distort things to make them seem greater than what they are, good and bad. Maybe we are behind where we want to be. Maybe we aren't as honest in our relationships. Maybe we are not working as hard as we truly could be. But maybe we're not as far back as what we really think we are, as we feel we are. Our feelings can be pushing us either way. We can feel that we're the greatest businessmen of all time, or that we shouldn't be allowed to make a deal ever. It could be anywhere amongst that because self-belief is pretty wild. But ultimately, you can look at things evenly. Look at the good and the bad. Look at your strengths. Look at your weaknesses. Look at the things that you've done right 90% of the time, 95% of the time. And look at the mistakes that you've made, the 5% or the 10% that you need to account for as well. This is what this is about. It's seeing yourself in the mirror and acknowledging all the good things, but all the bad too, all the blemishes, but all the good things, all the strengths. This self-honesty is not about just highlighting what you suck at. It's not that. It's what you suck at and what you're awesome at, what you could grow at, what you want to remove, what you want to put there. That's it. It's just a fair assessment of where you're at. The real reasons why people avoid self-honesty. Self-protection. Usually it's not laziness. Usually it's just protecting your ego. Your ego's there for a reason. It can help you do amazing things, but it can also get in your way a lot too. Cognitive dissonance. Your mind can do amazing things and it can elaborate and construct things that are truly amazing and truly punishingly frustrating barriers in your life. It can come up with elaborate stories as to why mistakes are made, maybe why you're not to blame, and to resolve the gap between who we think we are and who we are actually, day in, day out. And a lot of the time we can believe the story that we're being fed, the comfort of familiar narratives. I'm like this because of my childhood, my relationship, my hurt, my nature, things that have happened to me. These are all things that can be contributing factors, yes. But eventually, one day will come when it's just up to us. When it's just, yes, all this stuff happened to me. But then what do I do with it now? Do I just sit back and just go, well, I guess that's my life done. All this bad stuff's happened to me? Or do we be honest with ourselves and go, yes, that's painful, that sucks, that's unfair, whatever it is. Yes, I've made mistakes. Yes, other people have wronged me. But then now what do? I can account for that and move forward and grow out of it. But for a lot of people, being stuck in this spot of familiar narratives that we've fed ourselves is, again, easier short term because it's not our fault, because we don't have to try, because we've got an excuse not to. Whereas long term, it only hurts us. Social performance. For many of us, we've spent so long curating a version of ourselves for the world that we actually start believing it. We've been performing to an extent. You want to put your best foot forward. You want to lead with your strengths. But are you also not acknowledging a good chunk of you? Are you kind of leaning on a persona more than your actual self? Fear of what we might find. If you look honestly at yourself, your marriage, your kids, your parenting, your relationships, your business, your habits, will you like what you see? Will you be truly proud of yourself? Or will that just lead to initial pain? Initial pain that you may want to change, but changing is hard. The integrity gap connection. You can't heal what you refuse to name, and you can't build an authentic life on denial. This gap is purely based on your refusal to look at yourself honestly, and the fact that there is a big gap between what you say and what you do. This is a scary gap, though. This is a scary thing because ultimately, I would like to think that we all would like to think that we are better people than what we are, that we might be doing better, or that we might have a better intention or a better action than what we actually are. For many of us, we would like to think that we are better than what we have actually been practicing, what we have actually been showing day in, day out. And it's a hard realization when we realize that we're coming up short. What self-honesty costs and why, that is the point. It will show you the things that you don't see easily, the things that you have to maybe uncover or that you've been avoiding. It will require you to have conversations with yourself and with others that you've been avoiding. It will mean taking ownership of things that you would prefer not to touch with a 10-foot pole. On top of this, it might actually require you taking ownership of things that you'd prefer to blame on others or on other situations. It will reveal patterns in your marriage, in your relationships, your parenting, how you see yourself, your self-talk. It'll uncover patterns that a lot of them you may not be proud of. From my 12 years of counseling, I've found that the people who have grown the most are the people who are the most honest with themselves. The people who put on a front, who have a really practiced persona, who have a really practiced image that they want to portray, often aren't the most honest with themselves or with others. But the ones who are willing to be the most honest and take the most amount of responsibility are the ones who grow, are the ones who come out so much greater than how they went into something. The cost of self-honesty is short-term discomfort. The cost of self-deception is a lifetime of repeated patterns, broken relationships, and a growing gap between who you are and who you want to be. Self-honesty as a parent. Your kids are watching how you handle being wrong. Do you own it or do you deflect it? Every time you blame or minimize or justify in front of your children, it shows them what they should do when they're accused of being wrong or when they make a mistake. Instead of just owning it, instead of just going, yeah, I messed up there. Sorry about that. I didn't mean to. Or yeah, actually, I lost my temper. My apologies for that. I'll try better next time. The parent who can say, I'm sorry, I got that wrong, is modeling one of the most profound character traits that you could teach your child. A good question to ask yourself is, am I the parent that I think I am? Are the kids experiencing this parent? Kids learn from performance, not just words. By you being honest with yourself, by you taking ownership from your mistakes and from you trying to make better, trying to fix, trying to grow, trying to succeed, they will see that failure is not that bad. They can see that they can make a mistake and things can get better. You're teaching your kids that there's more opportunity to grow rather than you're a victim and that's it, rather than you're faulty and that's it. Children are amazing mirrors to their parents. By looking at them, by studying what they say and do, you can see what's really affecting them. You can hear whether there's fear behind what they say, whether there's scarcity, whether there's issues that they're not bringing to the forefront, or maybe that they've taken on board because you aren't picking yours up. That's a really hard lesson to learn. But if we don't learn it, they end up paying the price for it. They end up carrying that wound after you finish carrying it. Or sometimes you carry it simultaneously. Ultimately, you cannot fix what you do not name, what you do not acknowledge, and what you do not try to actually account for. Show your kids that you can do that and that you will do what's necessary in order to do that. When they pick up this trait, you will be so proud of them and you will be so glad that you did this work. Self-honesty in marriage and partnership. Research shows that greater expressed and perceived honesty predicts greater relationship well-being. Honesty benefits relationships, even when truth may hurt. Many relationship problems aren't just communication related. They're also self-honesty related. Maybe you're not saying what's truly going on. Maybe you're giving them a portion that you're okay with giving to your partner. But by leaving that other stuff on the table means that we can't truly account for things. Maybe they don't really understand you because you're not letting them fully in. Contracts are born here. The man who won't admit that he's lonely, so he manufactures resentment instead. The partner who won't acknowledge they've checked out, so they pick fights about the dishes. An honest question, in your relationship, are you actually showing up as you are, or just as the version that avoids conflict? By avoiding conflict, often we're avoiding talking about the real truth within the relationship or within you. Real intimacy requires two people. You can't connect with someone who's performing, who's not fully giving themselves. And you can't truly be known if you're hiding something. Just for some fun, I've got some pretty hard questions that you can ask yourself about your own self-honesty. These aren't hypothetical. Just pause and reflect on each. Let them land. Am I the husband my wife actually needs? Or the husband I think I am? Obviously changes the wife if you're a wife watching this. Partner, whatever. If my kids describe me to a stranger, what would they say? What behavior am I repeating that I promised myself I'd stop? What am I blaming on my circumstances that is actually about my choices? What does the gap between who I say I am and how I actually live cost the people closest to me? What am I afraid I'd find if I looked honestly? The way forward. Start with a simple question daily. Ask yourself, how was my day? But where did I fall short of who I wanted to be today? And why? Journal. Start journaling as a daily practice. It is super powerful. It is so helpful. Just uncovering all the little things, all the feelings that were going on that we don't ever communicate, the things that we never really see head on or honestly. Have a trusted voice, a friend, a counselor, a mentor, your wife, your husband, someone that you can be truly yourself with, truly honest and vulnerable with. Most men don't have this person and it really costs them. And most men don't feel like they can talk to these people, even though they totally could. It's important that we get over the thing that's stopping us from being completely us. Integrity audit. Pick one area of your life, your parenting, your marriage, your health, your faith, and just ask yourself honestly, am I living in alignment with what I say I believe? Just be honest, just in one area, try it. Remember that you're okay to be a work in progress. You're generally not going to be awesome at things that you've just started, that you're just trying, muscles that you've just started to build. So be aware that you may slip up to old habits because you've practiced them longer. The strength is still in that category rather than this current one. Self-honesty isn't about reaching a destination. It's about refusing to pretend you're somewhere that you're not. One of the most courageous things you can do as a person is be completely, truly honest with yourself. To pick up the mess that you have made, to pick up the mess that you have been carrying for so long and accounting for it, not pretending that it's not there, not pretending that it doesn't affect you, not pretending that it's helping those around you when it may really be hindering them. It's about looking at things dead in the face and accounting for everything, but still acknowledging what you're doing or what you're trying to do, acknowledging the good and the bad of you. All the things you've been avoiding, all the things that you've been hurting about, begins to shift when you start being truly honest with yourself. The moment that you stop lying to yourself, that you stop pretending. That integrity gap is only closed one way: when you're completely honest about where that gap actually is. In the end, you can't become who you want to be unless you're honest about who you currently are. Thanks so much for listening. Check out the other episodes. If you want to work with me, hit up my email. If you're a guy out there who's been lacking purpose, I've got a great product for you. It's a 90-day purpose reset. Check it out. Check out my links. Check out the episodes. Bless you. Bless each other. Peace.